you guys, that video scared me. I felt like something was gonna meet my witches and Wiccan. Welcome to Witches Talk Tales podcast. I am your host, Moon Witch, and today we're gonna be reacting to a couple paranormal scary videos of ghosts and demonic entities. Now, I did also started a vlog called A Witchy Life, and within the vlogs is gonna be me doing behind the scenes of recording and also rituals and spells and my everyday life. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, also the playlist will be listed in the description box as well as everything that's mentioned in here. With that being said, let's get on our broomstick witches and head to this week's video. Did you find a good place to park? I did. Or did you hang your broom? This video is coming from Ghostly Toxa, and it says 5 seconds before I jetted out of this house and threw a match behind me, what would you do? Let's see.
Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my...
I would have been scared. I would have got creeped out. But it's not as bad. But do you guys know the drag queen of season 16 of RuPaul's Drag Race? It's giving me Mirage when she's doing the heel clacking. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that video all around TikTok. It's a drag queen impersonator of a woman who performs on RuPaul's Drag Race competition. And she does this heel clacking where strippers do it. And I guess it went viral. Okay, on to the next video. This video is coming from a user or TikToker called The Secrets Without. Credit to Brandon Rayleigh 912. Let's see.
Y'all seen this one right here yet? They find this door behind the wall. Then through the doorway, look, watch right here in the doorway. Watch this.
Ooh, it's either orbs or it's dusty. What the heck is that? Okay, I saw something moving. I'm gonna replay here. The person was just in there. The person was just in there. That was scary. I can't even imagine. First of all, I feel like I witnessed a crime because they broke into someone's house or part of the room. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like, did I just witness a crime? Yes, you did, girl. Call the cops. I'm not a part of this. I'm snitching. This next video is coming from Heebie Jeebies 24, and it's about a daughter and a dog that sees a ghost.
Around 5 p.m., when a mother and daughter watched TV in the living room. Having the house all to themselves, they thought it'd be a good idea to watch some cartoons, as earlier they were feeling a bit spooked. For some reason, Nadine Beckett and her daughter Blake couldn't help but feel uneasy. They continued to watch TV, when suddenly, things take a very creepy turn.
Blakey, you okay?
There's nothing you can do or say to change that.
Do you want me to go open the door? Why? No?
Sucks for you.
Okay. Okay, I'm honestly freaking the out and I don't know what to do. Just a couple minutes ago, I got up and I closed my door because she kept pointing to my room saying, Mommy, Mommy, someone's over there. And she was terrified. She was terrified. Of course, freaking me out. So I went over there and she just said, No, Mommy, come here, Mommy, sit, Mommy, don't go over there. And so I called the dog and I closed the door, and as you can see, dude, she's still terrified.
As Nadine says, her daughter claims to have seen someone standing at the door. It isn't often the case that her daughter gets this scared, unless someone or something was causing her to feel this way. But Nadine had no idea why she was so frightened, as nothing was there when she pointed at the door. The space was entirely empty. Nadine further adds that prior to this video, she had taken the following footage. Watching it again, she believes it might have some connection to this incident. Once again, Nadine begs the question, what exactly was being seen?
You guys, if a kid is seeing the ghost, if the kid is seeing a ghost and they're freaking out and then a dog see it, I'm pretty sure that is real. I'm pretty sure they saw something. Think about it. Kids have, their eyes are so innocent that they can see beyond the world. We are not, because we've been corrupted, meaning materialistic things. Dogs, they don't have sense of anything but instinct, you know? So I'm pretty sure the dog saw something and was like, yeah.
Neither her dog nor her daughter appeared to see anything, which understandably was disconcerting. But her sense of uneasiness becomes intense after deciding to investigate the space where her daughter had seen the figure. Watch.
Blakey, Mommy's gonna go open the door, okay? I'll be right back. It's okay.
I'm scared.
I'll be right back. Your face.
I feel like something's gonna jump out. Girl, I'm with you. I'm scared.
It's okay, baby. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, tell me I'm not...
Like before, nothing is there. Feeling twice as scared now, Nadine uploads the video and the footage before, in the hopes of getting an answer for this creepy situation. If nothing had been around, then what exactly was causing her dog and her child to be on edge? As always, let me know your thoughts on this one.
You guys, that video scared me. I felt like something was gonna like jump out, you know? Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Let me know what you guys think about this video, because I'm freaked out. Okay? Let me take a breather. Let me relax and just pray. Ancestors, hear my plea. Protect me now, baby. 1, 2, 3. Let's go on to the next video. The next video that we're going to be watching is coming from a real horror TikTok. A girl who's walking and some dark shadows chasing her. I don't think it's a ghost, but it's more of like, it gave me the heebie-jeebies. Like, you know, like I'm just going to show you.
Yes, this terrifying video is going viral right now, and it depicts a young lady walking home in Mexico alone after a long day's work. when she recognizes someone acting strangely following her. And this is a good reminder as to why you should always be aware of your surroundings when you're alone. I translated the audio for you, but what would you do in this situation?
Y esa persona no me deja de seguir. O sea, no sé si tengo que hacer algo en especial. Literalmente la calle está sola, no hay nadie quien te pueda pedir ayuda. Y
He's coming.
o sea, lleva rato siguiéndome. Y yo vengo muy cansada. Es noche y es noche. Y esa persona no sé si necesite algo. Es muy extraño, la verdad.
Why is she even outside? Girl, run. The fact that she's still standing there.
Voy a caminar un poco porque se está acercando más.
Girl.
Y pues debo de
Okay, at this point she's asking for it.
Vean,
Don't
o sea,
I'm just saying. She's asking to get haunted at this point.
No voy a dejar de grabar porque
Girl,
es
run.
necesario.
Oh, he's human. He's not a ghost, it's human.
¿Qué quieres? ¿Quién eres? ¡Vete! ¡Ay! No sé qué quiere esta persona. No.
Girl, if you don't start banging on those cars, get those alarms coming on.
Chicos, hay una persona extraña siguiéndome. Tiene cuadras siguiéndome. Y no deja de seguirme. ¿Se fue?
Yeah, it's human. I think what happening was he was trying to, SA her or like a bad situation. But girl, I don't know why she was running so slow. I would have been like, you would have saw my shadow just here. I already done left. All right, like that person was not gonna get me. I heard something. Alright, witches, I had to end this video on a good note. Well, technically, you're going to be questioning yourself because it is about Amelia Earhart. You remember the lady who rode the plane or helicopter or jet and she went over the Bermuda Triangle and she disappeared and they were saying like, oh, we can hear her on the intercom, but it's da-da-da. Well, they found some new evidence about this. Let's watch it. I haven't seen it. I saved the best for last.
So if you haven't heard by now, deep sea explorers may have found Amelia Earhart's long-lost plane. According to her final radio messages with the U.S. Coast Guard vessel stationed nearby, all contact with Earhart ceased on July 2nd after 8:43 a.m. And that is supposedly the last anyone has ever heard from her. Until the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, or TGAR, published a paper in 2018 that strongly refutes this, stating that they have ample evidence to show that Earhart sent out radio distress messages for several days after July 2nd. After Earhart disappeared, the US Navy put out an all ships, all stations bulletin. Authorities asked anyone with a radio and a trained ear to tune in to the radio frequencies that Earhart was using on her trip. And this was not as simple as it sounds. So the people who heard Earhart's distress messages just happened to be listening to the radio at the right time. And one of those people was a 15-year-old girl listening in from St. Petersburg, Florida, who transcribed some of the desperate phrases she heard. Quote, "Water's high, water's knee deep. Let me out. Help us quick." A housewife in Toronto heard a shorter message. Quote, "We have taken in water. We can't hold on much longer." On July 3rd, a woman named Nina Paxton from Ashland, Kentucky, said she heard Earhart say, quote, "KHAQQ calling," and that she was on or near a little island at a point near, and then it cuts out. Then she says something about a storm and that the wind was blowing. "We will have to get out of here. We can't stay here long." What happened to Amelia Earhart after that has vexed the world for nearly 87 years. TIGAR is just one group of researchers who have dedicated their time and resources to solving one of aviation's greatest mysteries. So here's what they discovered. So they conducted an extensive analysis of more than 2,000 Coast Guard and US Navy log entries and tracked down 57 credible post-loss radio messages reported in the days after Earhart's disappearance to construct a picture of what may have happened in those final days. Based on the quality of the radio messages, TIGAR deduced that the point of origin of these radio messages were coming from Gardner Island, because the quality of radio reception decreased the farther you moved away from Gardner Island. And only at Baker Island, which is the station closest to Gardner, did an operator hear a strong, clear voice signal with the plane's call sign, KHAQQ. And if you notice, the island just above Baker is Howland Island. That is the island that Earhart and Noonan were supposed to land at to refuel and never arrived. And eerily enough, Earhart's very last radio message to the U.S. Coast Guard vessel at 8:43 a.m. was her stating that she was on the line, position 157-337, running north and south. And what island happens to be on this line of position? It's Nukumaro Island, also known as Gardner Island. So TIGAR deduced that Earhart and Noonan had to basically crash land on Gardner Island and were marooned on the reef. And the reason TIGAR believed this is absolutely bonkers nutso science. I mean that in a good way. Okay, if the plane was stuck on the reef at Gardner Island, then that presented Earhart with a problem. The plane's radio relied on the aircraft's batteries, but you need the batteries to start the engine. So if they kept the radio on and continued to send distress messages, then they would run out of the battery and they wouldn't be able to start the plane. But here's the rub. The timing of the distress messages are strange. TIGAR believed that there was a pattern to them that was oddly specific, as if Earhart was only sending distress messages when the tide was out. So TIGAR hypothesized that the plane was halfway underwater, and thus Earhart could only send messages when the water level was low enough for the propeller tip to clear. Because again, she needed to turn the engine on to send the radio message. In other words, TIGAR concluded that Earhart and Noonan had to stick to a certain schedule based on the tide. They're seeking shelter, shade, and food during the day, and then they head back to the plane during low tide to try the radio message again. To test their hypothesis, TIGAR compared past tidal levels and reef height data from Gardner Reef to the post-loss signals on an hour-by-hour timeline. And in their words, the correlation was astounding. Every credible transmission only occurred when the water level was low enough for the propeller to clear. But there's even more to the story. TIGAR didn't just randomly start this investigation based solely on the
I had to take a breather. You guys, I was holding my breath the whole time. If it is possible that Amelia Earhart was out there sending signals and Dr. Harini Bad, I think that's her name. If Amelia Earhart was still alive at the time with the other gentlemen and they would go back to land to, like eat and sleep and stuff, and then they would go back to the plane to basically restart the engine to send out the message. What I still don't understand is why didn't they just... They're still alive. What if they're in another dimension? Let's keep watching. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Post-lost radio messages. In 1940, bones were discovered on Gardner Island, which was originally believed to have belonged to Earhart, but then were, quote, misidentified and discarded. So TIGAR built this body of evidence on top of forensic anthropologist Dr. Richard Yancey's paper in 2018, which reanalyzed the bone evidence using modern-day techniques. These bones on Gardner Island were found by a British expedition team who stumbled upon a skull, other skeletal parts, and the remains of what looked like a woman's shoe. Among these bones was a box that held a Brandis Navy surveying sextant made in 1918 and a bottle of Benedictine, an herbal liqueur. I wanted to do a little bit of digging to see if Benedictine was even popular in the 1930s when Earhart was alive. And I found out that Benedictine was one of the most popular cocktails in 1930s New York during the Prohibition. And Amelia Earhart lived in New York for a while. She went to Columbia University, and then after graduating, she continued to live there for a few years because her husband owned a publishing company there. So it's totally possible that she packed the Benedictine as part of her belongings for the flight. Anyways, the 13 bones were shipped to Fiji and were studied by D.W. Hoodless, who determined that the skeleton was a man and the bones were subsequently chucked. But since the bones are gone, Yance co-developed a computer program that can estimate sex and ancestry by using skeletal measurements, called 4DISC. Yance compared the lengths of the bones to Earhart's measurements, using her height, weight, body build, limb lengths, and proportions from both photographs and information found on her pilot's and driver's licenses. The 4DISC analysis not only found the bones were female, that Earhart's bones were, quote, more similar to the Gardner bones than 99% of individuals in a large reference sample. So in his paper, Dr. Yance says that the only documented person to whom these Gardner bones could belong to is Amelia Earhart. Although doing a proper DNA analysis on the actual bones would give us the clearest and most definitive answer, the 4DISC analysis comes pretty darn close. This, coupled with the Teagar's radio message analysis, paints a pretty compelling yet distressing picture. One can only imagine what was going through her mind in those final moments. So if you haven't heard by now, deep sea...
I'm lost for words. I can't even call the cops because this is crazy. She did her study. I like her. I'm gonna follow her. It was Amelia Earhart, huh? Do you believe that those spirits were real? And the fact that, see, what I don't understand what the Amelia Earhart part was, I know I'm just rambling, but if you really think about it, if Amelia Earhart was alive at the time and she was doing all those signals, the question that I keep thinking about, right, is the signals. That's not what I'm trying to bring up. If she was stuck on the island, how did she die? Because it's saying there's signs saying that she was going into the water. I'm not going to repeat it, but I believe she was still alive on the island, and then she probably passed away years later. But did she live a normal life there? You know, like Castaway with Tom Hanks. Well, that's it for today's video. Go ahead and get on your broomstick and drive safe. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. With that being said, blessed be my witches and Wiccans, and have a good night, good day, good morning, good evening. Be careful out there. People are crazy. If not, call the cops because you're on your own with that one. Bye.